In the 1980s, the AIDS crisis significantly impacted communities across the United States, unleashing widespread social, political, and medical challenges. This period marked a critical juncture as the disease, initially identified among homosexual men, quickly spread across diverse populations, leading to the stigma and fear that caused discrimination against the LGBTQ community and those infected. The crisis not only reshaped public health policy, but also profoundly influenced cultural expression and community identities. And while AIDS was an epidemic, then there was Dennis. And Dennis Perone is a pivotal figure in the movement for cannabis legalization in the United States. He's an advocate for the AIDS crisis, and he spearheaded efforts to secure legal access and co-authorship for California Prop 215. Dennis Perone, whose partner fell sick of AIDS, and many of his other friends contacted the virus, discovered that cannabis provided significant relief from the harsh side effects of the AIDS treatments. This discovery propelled the push for Dennis Perone to become a vocal advocate for those marginalized in society. Alongside Dennis Perone was Brownie Mary. She appeared in the scene, giving brownies to AIDS patients that she would visit every week in the AIDS units in the San Francisco hospitals. Brownie Mary faced charges for 20 dozen brownies and set forth in a humanitarian case of compassion, which showed the greater purpose in marijuana. Dennis Perone was a gay man from San Francisco who called upon the masses to listen about the benefits of cannabis. And after his time at Vietnam, he was instrumental in drafting a policy statement that demanded the people of San Francisco call the district attorney and the chief of police to cease the prosecution and arrest of people involved in the transfer and cultivation for personal use of marijuana. And as an advocate for the AIDS community, Dennis Perone founded the first Cannabis Buyers Club, a groundbreaking location that was the first in the world to cater specifically to AIDS patients, giving them a safe place with safe access for a healthier life. This period was marked by widespread fear and ignorance about the disease, which often led to deadly and little understood. During this epidemic, Dennis played a crucial role in spreading awareness about the benefits of cannabis in AIDS patients, which led to significant public support. This passed and played a significant role in spreading awareness for the benefits of cannabis. This is a straightforward yet revolutionary proposal. And then Brownie Mary became an iconic figure, providing cannabis brownies to AIDS patients in the San Francisco hospitals. Despite facing charges for her actions, her case highlighted the compassionate use of marijuana for relief, changing public perceptions again of cannabis and recognizing it as a medical use.
A woman who has smoked the stuff for decades
this medicine
says her marijuana brownies
rallied
are
a
good
community.
for the AIDS
It led
patients
to
who
the
visit for
establishment
relief.
of roles like
Unsurprisingly,
budtenders,
the police think
who
otherwise.
today
Brownie
manage
Mary,
menu
she's
boards
told
and
by friend
dispensaries,
info alike, is
thanks
in
to the
big
legalization
trouble
and
again.
the efforts of
Caught in
people
the
like
act of
Dennis
baking
Perone
up
and Brownie
20
Mary.
dozen
The
marijuana
road to
brownies.
legalization was far from easy, and the bills were vetoed and challenged by numerous governors until Proposition 215, or the Compassionate Use Act of 1996, was placed on the ballot, largely due to a New York Times article that Brownie Mary herself wrote and caught the attention of George Soros. And with his support, over 763,000 signatures were gathered, and on November 5th, 1996, at 8 p.m., Proposition 215 passed with a 56% vote. Until the end of his life, Dennis Perone, he was a force for both LGBTQ activism and cannabis activism. In the past decade, he was able to benefit from his years of fighting the good fight. He married his partner, fellow activist John Entwistle, when California legalized same-sex marriage, and he even got to witness something that no one could have predicted in the 70s, the legalization of recreational cannabis in California. If this isn't vindication, I'm not sure what is. We are sure of one thing, though. Without Dennis Perone's tireless fight to help those who are suffering from the disease, medical marijuana programs might not exist, and legalization, adult use, absolutely out of this question. Those in the cannabis space, whether they are recreational users, medical patients, activists, or journalists, we all owe a great deal to Dennis Prone and Brownie Mary and all the other activists who came before to teach us to continue this legacy of compassion. And now, as we all know, with 215 came Prop 64. Cannabis underwent a remarkable transformation from a substance reserved for medicinal use to one embraced for recreational enjoyment, allowing dispensaries across California and the nation to follow suit to welcome a wider spectrum of users. This landmark legislation not only heralded a new era in commercial and social acceptance of cannabis, but also showed the importance of efforts and the countless advocates who paved the way for this change. This shift of policy reflects the hard battles that fought by patients and activists, particularly those from the LGBTQ community who championed the medical benefits of cannabis during the height of the AIDS crisis. Their advocacy is transcended mere medical relief, embedding itself in the fabric of a broader civil rights movement. The passage of Prop 64 stands as a testament to growth and determination, as also tax and regulation. So as we celebrate the expansion of accessibility and normalization of cannabis, we must also reflect on the sacrifices that were made because of these advancements possible. The doors of today's dispensaries open wider thanks to those who bravely stood at the forefront of this movement, advocating not just for cannabis legalization, but for a deeper societal acceptance of diverse communities. In honoring this legacy, we continue to advocate for equitable policies and remember the foundational battles that have been fought for those who no longer can. The struggles of patients and the victories are not just historical footnotes, but vibrant chapters in an ongoing story of justice and acceptance in our society. So, as you walk in your dispensaries today and you sit and take a toke, may the memory inspire us to maintain the vigilance, uphold the rights and dignity to all the communities, ensure the freedoms and exclusiveness we enjoy today are preserved and expanded on for the future generations to come.
I'm gonna tell you the story of Dennis Perone, our neighborhood dealer, well liked and well known. His stuff was organic, it was always on sale, and now he's facing more time in jail. Tell me how many ways, how many times must we be the victims of victimless crime?